Mr. Moore, I need help.
Well, admitting it is the first step on the road to recovery.
Yeah. Look over there. You know Ron Kunkel?
Of course. If the Knicks can hold out till he graduates from college, they could be great again. Could I punch in now, or am I supposed to pay a toll first?
Yeah, well, there's this one little problem. First, we've got to get Ron into college.
Well, this place has been swarming with recruiters all year. He must have hundreds of offers.
Oh, he does. But colleges have this new rule now for athletes.
Yeah, Proposition 48, you got to get at least 700 on your SATs.
Ron needs help. Now, that's where you and the IHP come in here.
Well, let me guess. You want me to get the IHP kids to help Ron be ready for his SATs.
I know you wouldn't like the idea, but if you're going to be unwilling...
It's a great idea.
I'm presenting Ron with the Outstanding Student Athlete Award at our next pep rally. Now, can you imagine how embarrassing that'll be if he can't pass his SATs?
I'll do it.
You know, I can order you, I can order them. In fact, I'll tell you what, I want you to consider it an order now.
Dr. Samuels, Charlie said it was a great idea.
He did?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I'll do it.
Well, I still consider it an order. Maybe I ought to rethink this thing.
Wait a minute. You're telling me all he's got to get on his SATs is a combined 700? There's species of fungus that can get a combined 700.
You should know.
Okay. Are we going to be snobs about this, or are we going to try to help Ron out?
Well, can't we do both?
Forget it, guys. You can lead a jock to data, but you can't make him think.
Hey, wait a minute, Dennis. I know him. He's okay. Look, if I can help him get into college, one day he might give me some free tickets to the games and hook me up with some cheerleaders.
Hey, you know, it always helps a politician have a famous athlete campaign for him, so I'm in.
And when he's hot, maybe he'll choose me to shoot his commercials. I like it.
Hey, Alex.
Yo, Ronnie, what's up? Look, Mr. Moore, this is my pal, Ron Kunkel.
Oh, hi. Good to meet you, Mr. Moore.
Good to meet you.
Thanks. I really appreciate what you're doing. I just wish there was some way I could pay you back.
Well, just repeat what you did in last year's finals. You know, when you took that inbound pass from McGregor and... good luck.
So you got a little problem with your SATs, huh?
Well, I'm just looking for a little insurance, you know?
Well, if you can get through this, you're gonna do great on reading comprehension. A Tale of Two Cities. Give it a shot.
Oh, man, great story, great story. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
You know it? I just assumed, man, that you know...
What, because I'm a jock, I don't know anything?
No, I mean...
Yeah. It's cool, man. Hey, it was a great movie, too.
Yeah, it was.
Say, you like those old movies?
Yeah.
Well, who was your favorite director?
Hitchcock.
Oh, man, everybody's always talking about Hitchcock. I mean, what's so great about the guy?
Oh, man, he's the master of suspense. Rear Window. Jimmy Stewart stuck in a wheelchair for a whole movie watching a guy cover up a murder. What an idea.
Wow, man, I gotta see that movie.
Hey, you know it's playing down at the Translux Theater tonight.
Well, let's go.
Hey, don't tempt me, man. We gotta get your act together.
Yeah, you're right. Man, this book will be here tomorrow, you know? Rear Window could be gone.
You spring for popcorn?
Deal.
Okay, the SATs are really big on sentence completion, but it's basically pretty simple. Here, I'll read the sentence, and you choose the appropriate word from the corresponding group, okay?
Okay.
Scientists agree that travel between galaxies is blank.
Dumb.
No, that's not one of your choices, see? Theoretical, probable, or proven.
I still say it's dumb. All that stuff about the ancient astronauts building the pyramids. I mean, why would people who could travel in space teach the Egyptians how to build stuff out of rocks, you know? I mean, why did they show them how to make, I don't know, a car or something?
That's a good point. But what about all those canals on Mars?
See, now you expect me to believe that the Martians built those things?
morning, everyone.
Mr. Moore, Ron Kunkel is great. We got into financial planning. I told him about living trusts, pension plans, CDs, TDs.
SATs?
We ran out of time, but we'll get to it tonight.
You know, I didn't get a chance to teach him either. And it's not as if he's dumb. I mean, he's pretty good in geometry. You know, he would have done fine on my sample math test.
Would have?
Well, I was describing the arc of a basketball in mathematical terms, and we got to talking about, you know, hoops. And then these two cheerleaders walked into the library, and, well, the rest is history.
No, you were history.
So you didn't have a chance to get anything done.
You know, I made him vocabulary flashcards. He wouldn't look at them. He said he'd rather look at me.
So nobody had a chance to teach him anything that was applicable to the SATs, huh?
No,
You know, I don't get it. If he wants to play ball in college, all he needs is a 700. Why is he wasting time?
I mean, come on, we're talking about a guy who plans to dribble for a living. Why should he care about school anyway?
Well, Dennis, you know, it may be that Ron is unaccustomed to working very hard for anything, except perfecting his game. But you got to understand, for him, taking this test is like you trying to do a 360 reverse slam dunk.
Which is not a pretty picture.
So try to find a way to help him. Don't give up so easily, because he's going to need help, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, what they're after is to see how well you understand the basic principles of geometry. Circumferences, pi, bisecting angles, triangles.
You know what I like about you? You're not just cute, you're smart. I mean, you're really smart, Sarah. But you're also really cute.
Well, thank you, but let's just stick to the geometry. That's not geometry.
Chemistry? I'm sorry. Look, now you're mad at me, aren't you?
Look, Ron, let's just do the problems, okay?
Look, Sarah, I can't do the work if I know you're mad at me.
I don't think you want to do the work at all.
What does that mean?
It means that I understand what the other kids were talking about. You think this is all a big joke. Well, I've got better things to do, Ron. I'll see you later.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Mr. Moore.
Listen, how's it going with Ron?
Mr. Moore, I don't get it. The clock is ticking, his future's at stake, and Ron is just goofing off.
Well, don't be afraid to tell him that.
Mr. Moore, I told him. I don't know. I mean, it's just not sinking in, or maybe Ron is just a jerk.
Sarah. Hi, Mr. Moore.
Hi, Ron. Listen, I know the kids are really pleased to be helping out.
I know. I've been a bad boy, right? But look, I promise, from now on, really.
Well, good.
What happened? Did you forget?
Oh, sorry, Alex. Just couldn't quit till I got this right. Show off. Listen, there's only two teams I want to play for. The Knicks or the Lakers. Los Angeles, man, I mean, it's so fantastic. You know, when I make a basket, I get a smile from Pat Riley and a hug from Jack Nicholson, and they pay me.
Right. Now, just like basketball, you gotta have a game plan for your SATs. You gotta have a strategy. Here, write this down.
Oh, it's okay, man. I'll remember it.
All right. First, you answer all the easy questions because you could waste time on the hard ones and blow the whole thing. But don't rush.
Listen, Alex. I mean, you're a smart guy, right? You could probably pull this off.
Pull what off?
Well, man, I mean, think about it. When Patrick Ewing's waiting for me to dish him the ball, he's not gonna care about how I did in my SATs, right?
Yeah, so?
So what I'm contemplating, is there some way you could go in there and take those tests for me?
You're kidding me, right? Right?
No. I mean it.
You can't ask me to do that. Hey, man, you can pull this off. Look, I scored 1,400 easy. All you gotta get is half that.
So what are you saying, I'm half as smart as you?
No. I'm saying you're a gym rat, I'm a book rat, and I'm just trying to help.
Man, I showed you a way to help. And what do? You tell me I'm dumb. Well, gee, thanks, friend. Look, I'll see you around.
Thanks, friend. You got a lot of nerve. I mean, you're gonna get a free ride to a big-time college. Why? Because you can stuff a ball through a hoop? Well, what about me? I mean, if I'm lucky, I'll get a part scholarship and a job in the college cafeteria. And I gotta hit the books 3 hours a night. I mean, and what do you study? The history of lawn bowling? It's all a big joke to you. And you want me to take your test for you? As a friend?
Look, I'd give anything if I could learn something in college.
Sure, tell me about it.
You think I want to be just another dumb jock?
Well, you're off to a great start.
Man, I can't do it.
Hey, I understand. I mean, you got a choice to make. An education or a couple of million a year. I mean, if I were you, I would do the same thing. But don't ask me to cheat for you.
Listen, Alex, if I take that test, man, I'm history.
Yeah, because you're too lazy to do the work.
I'm not lazy.
All right, then you're too stupid to do it.
Alex, don't you get it? I can't read.
No, just wait a minute. How can anybody in this day and age not know how to read?
Yeah, exactly. Look, he fell behind when he was a kid and he never caught up.
Oh, come on, Alex. Surely someone must have realized it.
Hey, when you're a jock, nobody expects you to be very smart. I mean, it's a great cover.
No, Alex is right. I mean, when you're more on the intellectual side, no one expects you to be any good at sports. That's why, to this day, I can't play baseball.
I still don't buy it. How could he have gotten through 4 years of high school without being able to read?
You want to know how? The answer's right up there on the board.
What, Nixon's visit to China in 1972? What does that have to do with any of this?
See? I just got you to read it for me. And you want to know how he could quote from A Tale of Two Cities and Moby Dick? He didn't read the books, he watched the movies. I mean, that's how he faked his way through all his classes.
What a con man. He distracted me by flirting with me. I was very upset. At first.
Ron has got a real problem.
Yeah, you guys, TJ is right. I mean, maybe we should tell Mr. Moore. Maybe he can actually help Ron.
If we tell Mr. Moore, he's gonna want us to be honest about this. Next thing you know, he's gonna want us to do the right thing and tell Dr. Samuels, and then it's out of our hands.
Well, hey, wait a minute. Why don't we teach him how to read? That way he'll do the SAT and no one will ever know.
You should do. Teach him how to read in time for the SATs? Yeah. No way.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Just enough to squeak him through. I mean, he is smart.
That's right, he is smart and we can do this. What do you say?
Little Miss Muffet sat on a...
Tuffet?
Right. Eating her curds and...
Way?
Good. Along came a...
Spider?
Who sat down beside her and frightened Miss Muffet a...
Lot?
A lot?
Simone, I've known this since I was 2. I'm not a moron. I just can't read.
In this box.
In this... box?
Come on, man, I gave you that much.
This is crazy. I'm never gonna learn to read.
Yeah, with an attitude like that.
Oh, sorry, fellas. I forgot my lesson plan book.
And that's okay, Mr. Moore. We're done here anyway. Later, man.
Dr. Seuss, huh? One of my favorite authors.
Well, you know, the SATs, they cover a wide range of literature. I just want Ron to be ready for anything, you know?
Yeah, you can't be too careful.
Yeah.
Since you do have essays due in 3 weeks on contemporary social problems, I thought today we could discuss one that you might be thinking about: illiteracy. Now, I did some research here. A recent congressional committee estimates that in the United States, there are as many as 23 million people who are functionally illiterate. And what does that mean? It means they can't read street signs, they can't even read medicine labels, they can't fill out a job application. And additionally, there are 35 million more adults who read at a level which is less than they need to compete in society. Which category would you say Ron Kunkel belongs to?
You knew Ron couldn't read?
Yeah. I also know you've been trying to teach him, but it's not going to work.
Oh, come on, Mr. Moore. I mean, we still got a little bit of time left before the SATs.
Yes. And he's pretty good in math. If he just sticks with numbers and symbols, he'll score as high as 450.
Sure, right. And then he only needs 250 on the verbal part.
Yeah. And he gets 200 for just completing the form. I mean, he can do that, right?
Yeah.
If we can just get him to read well enough to get the extra 50, 700.
Exactly.
How's he doing? See, I'm not questioning your motives.
Mr. Moore, we gotta do something.
Well, let's start by looking beyond short-term solutions, okay? I mean, Ron has come this far without knowing how to read, but what's going to happen a few years from now when his athletic career is over and he still can't read? Or worse yet, what's going to happen if he has no athletic career at all? Gee, Ron, thought I'd find you here.
But it's been half my life in here.
Listen, I got something that needs your signature here.
Oh, sure. What is it?
Well, it's just a memo so the IHP kids can get credit for tutoring you.
Oh, yeah.
You might want to read it over.
All right. Looks good to me.
Okay.
Here?
Yeah. Thank you, Ron. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much.
No big deal.
No, this is a big deal. This is a very big deal, my friend. You have just given me financial security for the rest of my life, and that is a big deal for a teacher.
Excuse me?
Ron, I'm your new manager. This entitles me to 50% of your earnings for the remainder of your career.
What?
We're not just talking basketball, son. We're talking commercials. We're talking endorsements, the whole schmear. Now, you've been very generous with me, Ron, so I want you to know I'll do my best for you. Trust me on this, okay? You have no idea what I can do with $2 million a year.
Wait, you can't do that.
Ron, I just did it. I own you.
Well, I'll get a lawyer.
Will you do that? And he'll tell you that this is not a contract. This is a letter from my medical health plan. You don't need a lawyer, Ron. You need to learn to read.
Alex told you.
No. Cat in the Hat was a tip. Look, Ron, I can't imagine what it's like not to read, but you're going to be dealing with some very complex affairs. Business deals, contracts, taxes. And you're going to try to buy a home or even rent an apartment. How are you going to do that if you can't read?
Well, see, I get people I trust to read things to me.
Please.
Oh, well, that's how I've done it so far. Mr. Moore, all I need to do is to be able to play ball.
Well, what happens when you blow a knee out on the court? Or you fall down some stairs, or you're in an auto wreck?
And don't talk to me about those kind of things.
What, you don't want to think about them until they actually
Well,
happen?
what am I supposed to do? I'm trapped. People are pressuring me to go to college. I got those damn SATs next week. Okay, so I can't read. Right now, I just want to play, you know, and take care of everything else later.
Okay, so let's look at the options. You try to go pro now, assuming you're good enough. Or you somehow fake your way through the SATs, and then you try to fake your way through 4 years of college.
Or, I got another choice?
Yeah. You take a year off. You get yourself tested. Make sure that you don't have a reading disability, and you learn to read. Ron, your basketball skills aren't going to just evaporate. I mean, you would have control over some area of your life besides this court.
Yeah, but that means I'd have to admit it.
Yes.
Well, I'm not gonna do that, man. Forget it. No way.
Okay. It's your life. Good luck with it.
Mr. Moore! All I've got to make it in this world is my talent. Now, you said yourself, turn pro if I'm good enough. Well, I think I'm good enough.
Well, it looks like we'll find out.
This is embarrassing. We're giving the guy a Scholar Athlete Award and he can't even read. I'd call it off, but I don't want to humiliate him or the school. Or me.
Okay, rush 'em, stomp 'em, just like ants. Beat the pants off Stuyvesant. Go
right, now let's all be there and cheer our guys on to victory tonight. And remember, I don't want a repeat of last year's incident. Chaining the Stuyvesant mascot to my desk was not amusing, neither for me or the guy in the gorilla suit. And now it's time for me to present the award for Fillmore's Outstanding Scholar Athlete, Miss Mira.
Thank you. It's no surprise to find this young man's name on the award. He's the backbone of Team Fillmore, Ron Kunkel.
Thank you.
You know, I'm sure your classmates would like you to read the inscription.
Oh, no, Miss Mira, really, if it says what I think it says, I feel silly.
Oh, well, may I read it then? Okay. To Ron Kunkel, Fillmore's outstanding student athlete, dedicated to the spirit of athletic and academic excellence. There you go.
Thank you, Miss Mira. Dr. Samuels. Thank you, everybody. There's a little announcement of my own I'd like to make. It's something I've been thinking about for a while now. I'm not going to college next year. What do you mean? I'm not going anywhere. See, I'm going to be right here, trying to learn something very important. How to read. What? I've been faking people out since I was a kid, see, like I just did with Miss Mira. And now, only now I'm starting to realize that there's a lot of things in life that I'm missing out on. And I just don't want to go through life being less than what I could be. And I'm not the only kid in this school that can't read. I mean, I know, because I tried to copy off a lot of you guys' papers, and they were blank, too. And I know that you might think that you're getting away with something, but you're not. So if you're smart, you'll do what I'm doing. Only don't wait till the last minute. Here, Dr. Samuels. I don't think I deserve this till I can read it. But maybe next year.
Ron, is this from you?
Just read the note. It's only one word, but I wrote it myself.
Thanks. It's perfect.
Hey, Arv.
Hi, Dennis. What do you got?
This is my science project. The Blunden superconductive electromagnet. A magnet so powerful it could suck the fillings right out of your head.
Wow.
Want to see it work?
Yeah.
Watch this. Okay, I need something metal to test it against.
I haven't got anything. Hey, how about the door?
No, you don't want to close the door.
What's the matter?
Go ahead, Arvid. Open the door.
It's stuck.
It's not stuck, that's the magnet working.
Wow, that's a strong magnet. Dennis, you're gonna get an A.
How am I gonna get it out of my locker?
Well, we don't have time now, Dennis. We gotta get to class. Come on. Dennis, come on.
I can't.
Why not?
My belt buckle, Arvid.
Well, in several instances in the 1970s, the United States sent millions and millions of dollars in earthquake relief to Nicaragua, but most of it went directly into the private bank accounts of President Somoza.
Excuse me, Mr. Moore, is this material going to be on our midterms?
Alan, thousands of people lost their lives because of this man.
So it is going to be on our midterms.
Excuse me, Mr. Moore. I know how you hate to be interrupted, but I just want to warn you, Dr. Samuels is going to be interrupting any minute with a guest.
You're interrupting me to warn me of an impending interruption. Who is the guest?
Wesley Winthrop.
Wesley Winthrop? I did. The guy that wrote the Scuttlebutt column? This is a good interruption.
Thank you. Bye.
Sir, we've only got 3 more days to review for our midterms.
That's right, Mr. Moore. This guy's not gonna stay long, is he?
This guy? Does anybody know who Wesley Winthrop is?
No.
I can't believe it. I mean, he's only one of the major columnists and chroniclers and boulevardiers of the last 50 years. I mean, he ranks right up there with Walter Lippmann and Hayward Brune, George Seldes. I can't believe that no one here knows who he is.
Mr. Moore, who's the lead singer of Guns N' Roses? Okay?
Well, okay. Well, let me fill you in, okay? Because this is going to be a treat. Now, we're going to be talking to a man who's lived through the historical events that we've been studying. Wesley Winthrop is a friend to presidents and kings. I mean, this guy has traveled everywhere. You could find him on the front lines of every major international conflict since World War I.
I mean, didn't he also make a lot of the road pictures with Bing Crosby?
Look, Winthrop has a body of experiential knowledge that no one else possesses. So let's take advantage of the opportunity.
Okay, get him in, get him out, get it over with.
Excuse me, Mr. Moore. I have a surprise visitor. A man who needs no introduction.
Wesley Winthrop.
You must be Mr. Moore.
Charlie Moore. We're honored to have you here, sir.
Gang, Mr. Winthrop is here to...
I can speak for myself, Harold. You can go now.
You will invite them to your book launching party tomorrow night.
Yes. You are all invited to my book launching party tomorrow night. Happy, Harold? Goodbye.
Later, gang.
Well, Mr. Winthrop, I know everybody's anxious to ask you questions about your...
In my day, the teacher wore a suit. A dark suit with a tie that looked like a tie, not like the flag of some emerging nation. I suppose it all fits. Graffiti on the walls, lack of discipline. I can't believe this is my old school.
Oh, so this is your alma mater.
Quick, aren't you? Of course, this is the smart class, and none of us ever dared lounge in their desks like that. They sat up straight and paid attention.
Well, Mr. Winthrop, I'm sure the class is anxious to ask you some questions about your many adventures. I know I am. So... we were talking about South American dictators. The Somozas, the Duvaliers, Batista.
Batista, Havana. God, how I miss those casinos. Castro squeezed the life out of Cuba.
Well, of course, before Castro, Batista was sucking the blood out of Cuba.
Oh, Fulgencio Batista, 1940 to 1944, 1952 to 1959, right here.
Batista, the stenographer.
No.
You probably knew him personally, I bet. Huh?
See, I don't get my history from books. I lived it. I was there. I'll tell you who was a real funny dame, Madame Chankar-Shek. We were at a banquet in Shanghai, and she leaned over and said, Ni hao, ni jiao, shama, but Juan Perón was no friend of mine. He took $200 off me a gin. Cheating his people, well, that was par for the course down there, but cheating at cards, that's unforgivable. But that, Evita, oh, could she rumba?
Thank you very much, Mr. Winthrop. I'm sure we all learned a great deal. Right?
My pleasure, Charlie. It's been quite some time since I spoke to this kind of audience.
Yeah, captive.
In fact, time passed so quickly I didn't get a chance to tell my favorite John Foster Dulles story.
Oh, well, I'm sorry we've run out of time. I'd like to hear it.
Well, I'll be back tomorrow.
You could come back? That would be
But
great.
as Doug MacArthur said, I shall return. To which I replied, you'd better. You're up $40. You're up $40.
Poker game. Gotta tell you, I'm a little disappointed.
Oh, come on, Mr. Moore. He's an egotistical bore.
Mr. Moore, he's worse than boring. He's wasting our time.
Hey, come on. He said some interesting things.
Mr. Moore, here's a guy lucky enough to meet every world leader of the century. And what can he tell us about them? I mean, Juan Perón's gin scores aren't going to be on our tests, are they?
Okay, I'll agree with you that a lot of what he said might be considered trivial. And I'll agree that he was often overbearing. Worst of all, he hated my tie. But that doesn't mean that we can't learn from it. But you don't have to think of him as an old fogey. You can think of him as an old and treasured book.
Yeah, gone with the windbag.
Oh, and then yesterday in science lab, Arvid accidentally set fire to my homework. I'm telling you, the guy is a walking disaster.
I think you're exaggerating, Dennis.
Hi, Dennis. How's it going? Good. You know, I was...
Arvid!
What?
You just erased my entire book report from the computer.
I did?
What is it, Arvid? You just want to kill me? Is that it? Look, here's a nice sharp pencil. Why don't you take it and stick it right in my neck?
Dennis, I'm sorry. It was an accident.
Are you sure, Arvid?
Of course I'm sure.
My therapist says there are no accidents. There's a psychological motivation for everything you do. You're obviously suppressing a subconscious hostility that manifests itself in these so-called accidents.
Me? Hostile toward Dennis? But he's my best friend. Why would I be hostile to him?
Yeah, why would Arvid hate me?
Well, what about the time you used his rare coin collection to tip the pizza guy?
That was years ago. I've forgotten all about that.
Arvid!
Morning, everyone.
Mr. Moore, could we just drill for the test today?
Yeah.
Well, if we have time, don't forget Mr. Winthrop is with us again.
Oh, goody.
I'm sure all of you are going to be particularly attentive today. Mr. Winthrop, the class is getting ready for a midterm exam in history, and what better way to study than having a chat with Mr. Winthrop, huh?
What do you kids want to know about today? Paris in the 20s, Berlin in the 30s, Potsdam, Yalta, you name it. I was there.
I'd like to hear your version of the Yalta Conference. I mean, did the West really buckle under to the Russians?
Now, I've always wondered about this.
I was there with Winnie Churchill, FDR, Joe Stalin. Joe couldn't stand Winnie's cigars, and the more he coughed, the more Winnie puffed. It cracked me up.
Yeah, but what did they talk about?
What did they talk about? They talked about which one had the biggest office.
Excuse me, Mr. Winthrop, when was the conference?
When? Hell, it was near the end of the war. It must have been winter. It was so cold, I almost froze my rear off. The palaces are damn drafty.
Could you be more specific?
Yeah.
The palaces didn't have any heat.
The Yalta Conference, February 4th to the 11th, 1945.
Excuse me. History is more than just dates, you know. Try asking them about people. Truman? Trotsky? Mussolini?
Oh, there was a guy. Benito. He did an impersonation of of Hitler that was hilarious. He took his comb, put it under his nose, and he had the walk down pat.
Was that about the time Mussolini invaded Ethiopia?
Yeah.
It was about the time I stole one of Benita's mistresses. He was furious. I took it to Spain while I was covering the Civil War with Hemingway.
But the invasion of Ethiopia was 1935. The Spanish Civil War didn't start until 1936.
Yeah.
1936, 35. What the hell is the difference? She was gorgeous.
Excuse me, Mr. Moore, but this is a history class, and the midterms have put us under a lot of pressure. We'd prefer to learn some facts, not listen to some cocktail party gossip.
Mr. Winthrop, I'd like to say that...
You needn't say anything. Youth has spoken. Unfortunately, its voice is loud, crass, and rude. Goodbye.
I agree with him.
Look, you have to admit, he doesn't have his facts straight.
Fact number one. Wesley Winthrop is 85 years old, and as far as I can determine, he has not wasted a single moment of his life. Now, fact number two, he has some incredibly rich memories crammed into his mind. So it doesn't really matter if he gets his dates mixed up. You can look those up anytime you want to. Fact number three, here's a man who's seen everything, he's done everything, he's been everywhere, he knows everyone, and yet late in his life, he chooses to come back to Fillmore High School. Now, doesn't anyone wonder why? I just hope that the next time you're faced with a similar situation, you'll try to learn something instead of trying to prove how smart you are. Excuse me, Mr. Winthrop come in here?
Wesley Winthrop? The man that just stormed into my office like a bat out of hell? He's in there calling a cab. What happened?
Well, let's just say he and the kids hated each other.
Well, now, what about the photos of him with the IHP at the book signing? And the Distinguished Alumnus Award.
What Distinguished Alumnus Award?
I thought of it this morning. I ordered a beautiful bronze plaque. Here, read it to me.
Ooh, your school here, Distinguished Alumnus Award presented to your name here.
Give me that. Call trophies or us.
Thank you.
Hi.
You can skip your defense of your flock. I'm not interested.
Well, actually, I was going to apologize for them. I think they were more than a little rough on you.
You could teach them some civility.
I try. I was hoping you could be a little more understanding.
What's to understand? They're little snots.
Well, I mean, there are reasons for acting so tough. I know them, so when they behave like this, I see that they're insecure about something.
So?
Well, in your scuttlebutt column, you were pretty tough on everybody.
Everybody deserved it.
So what were you insecure about?
I was only insecure once in my life. I was having dinner with Hitler, and Ava Brown grabbed my knee.
Listen, you don't have to answer this. I'm simply curious. You've been everywhere. You've met everyone. After 60-some years, you choose to come back to Fillmore High School. Why?
That's an interesting question.
So what's the answer?
Unfinished business. When you get to be my age, you want to settle all your accounts. And I have. Except one.
Excuse me, your cab's here, Mr. Winthrop.
So, what is this unfinished piece of business?
None of your damn business.
Okay. Well, nice knowing you, Mr. Winthrop. It's been interesting.
Does that mean you're not coming to my book signing party?
Means I'm not sure I'm still welcome.
Of course you are. But don't expect a free copy. You'll have to plunk down $24.95 like everybody else. Thank you for coming, Ben.
Hi.
Oh, hi. It's not a bad turnout, huh?
Yeah.
Where's the photographer?
Oh, I was hoping to see some of the IHP kids here.
Please, we've done enough to upset Winthrop. I don't want this to turn into a rerun of Geraldo.
So, you decided to come.
Oh, well, you know me, Mr. Moore. I like anything that has to do with books.
And you know me, Mr. Moore. I like anything that has to do with Simone.
You sure that's why you decided to come?
Hi, Mr. Moore. We just happen to be in the neighborhood.
Oh, what a surprise, yeah. Great. I think you're in time to hear Mr. Winthrop read from his book.
Oh,
great.
we made it.
Thanks.
And then there was the time you changed the date on my watch. I was the only kid in school that Saturday. Maybe Maria's right. Maybe I am still angry with you.
Go ahead, Arvid. Get it all out.
Maybe I will. Maybe I want to get back at you for all those years of practical jokes. The dribble glass, the kick me sign, the electric toilet seat. Oh, and the time you put a mousetrap in my pocket protector.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Would you like to get off my foot?
Oh, sorry.
What are you hooligans doing here? Read the sign. This is a bookstore, not a bowling alley.
Mr. Winthrop, I'm sure we'd all love to hear you read from your book.
As my old friend Milton Friedman said, there is no such thing as a free lunch. Now that you've had your wine and cheese, you'll have to pay for it by listening to me. Here's one of my favorite passages. I was in Paris when Lindbergh landed. He could never stand missing one of my dinner parties. But my Marlin was 10 pounds heavier than Hemingway's. After that, Papa never sent me another Christmas card.
Excuse me. Can I say something?
You've said quite enough this morning, young man.
I know. I'm sorry, but I learned a lot since then. See, I went to the library and I read some of your old columns, and I was just wondering about the Yalta Conference.
What's the matter? Did I get a date wrong?
No. I was just really interested in that story about when you took the chicken soup up to Roosevelt. I mean, if he was really that sick, it's no wonder he couldn't negotiate a better treaty with Stalin.
Yes?
Well, that changed the face of Europe and possibly contributed to the Cold War. You know, it all makes a lot of sense now.
Well, thank you.
Mr. Winthrop, I just want to say we're sorry if we hurt your feelings.
Yeah, I guess we can be a little difficult to get along with sometimes. But then again, so can you.
Yes. Patton said the same thing about me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present this trophy to Wesley Winthrop, one of Fillmore High School's most distinguished graduates.
Well, as long as we're telling the truth is I never did graduate from high school.
Great. There's $20 down the drain.
Here's a book. You owe me $5. You see, I left school when I was 15. I lied about my age and went off to fight in France, and I've been moving around ever since. I have packed 10 lifetimes into one. But I still regret that I never graduated high school. I know it's silly, but I've always felt insecure. You were right, Charlie. And I always felt a little like an imposter. I promised my mother I would go back and get my diploma, and I never got round to it. So I'm afraid I'm not able to accept this.
I'm sure with all of Dr. Samuel's connections down at Trophies R Us, you could get this changed to read Fillmore High School's most distinguished honorary graduate.
Nothing would give me more pleasure.
Congratulations, sir.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Winthrop.
Listen, it has been interesting. I wanted to tell you, you're welcome to come back to my class anytime.
Thank you. Just one thing.
Sure, what?
burn that tie.
Listen, you want to get some coffee?
Yeah.
Huh. I'm really quite curious. How did you go about stealing Mussolini's girlfriend?
It wasn't easy.
I'll bet. Was she Italian?
Was she ever?
Hey, Dennis, you finally got your locker open, huh?
Yep. And now I'm gonna get Arvid back once and for all.
Aw, don't start up again. Haven't you learned your lesson yet?
Just one more. I'm gonna crazy glue his locker shut.
Dennis, listen, I just want to tell you that I'm sorry for everything that's happened the past few days. I take full responsibility for all my actions.
Really?
Yeah, listen, we've been friends for so long. I just hope there's no hard feelings.
You're right. Hey, what do you say we start over fresh, huh?
Hey, can I buy you lunch?
Well, I think we better go to the nurse's office.
How come?
Well, I just crazy glued our hands together.
What? It was an accident.
Hey, guys. It's great to see you finally make up.
Make up! I hate you!
Just start walking into it.
This way. I know. Over there. Come on, over. Dennis.
Arvid, have you decided what elective you're gonna take this semester?
Yep. Triangular matrix equations.
No, you're not. Arvid, the purpose of an elective is to delve into a new and totally unknown field.
Yeah?
So, what's that unknown field into which we've always wanted to delve?
What? Yeah. Oh, wait a minute, Dennis. I don't think that's on the course list.
No, but home ec is.
Home ec? Why would we want to take that? It's for girls. Oh, right.
I'd just like to say that I think the Board of Education is being pretty darn reasonable. So let's stop all this gloomy Gus strike talk, huh? I mean, we don't have to have a raise, and I think we all can live with one little rollback. The important thing is we've got our health.
We better. Soon we won't have any health insurance, which is why we got to strike.
No, wait. I'm sorry, but as your elected union rep, before I go to the negotiating committee and say that this chapter wants to strike, I think that we should investigate some alternatives that are a little less disruptive.
Right. How about a sternly worded letter to the Times?
I was thinking more of a work slowdown. Let's say that we withhold all of our extracurricular activities. No more club supervision, no more tutoring. Dr. Samuels wants all this paperwork done, fine. We do it only during school hours.
Smarten up, Charlie. A work slowdown, we'll lose our jobs. We're going to be cashing in aluminum cans.
I think it's a great way of getting our ideas across. Let's do it, Charlie.
Wait, I got it. How about buttons that say unfair?
How about I take your face and move
No,
around?
Miss really unfair.
Darlene, let's get together this week and study for the advanced placement history test.
Well, I don't think that's really going to be necessary, Maria. I mean, we're going to review all the material we've covered in history class. Yeah, I mean, we should be prepared just by listening to Mr. Moore. Exactly.
Mr. Moore, don't you want to get started?
Yes. Sorry, we've got a mountain of material to cover today.
Tell us about it. So, what's first?
First, how many people here drink milk with lunch at least twice a week? Show of hands, yeah.
This ought to be good. I can't wait to see how he ties it in with the Spanish-American War.
Okay, how many drink chocolate milk?
Mr. Moore, what does this have to do with history?
Nothing. This is a Student Nutrition Evaluation Report 629/R. So, how many of you eat the crackers that come with the soup?
Mr. Moore, we have that test next week to review for.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'd like to be able to help you, but the school board hasn't budged, so until that changes, we teachers are trying to complete all of our paperwork during school hours. So if I can finish this, maybe we'll have some time before the end of class.
Well, then we can get together after school for special tutoring.
That's a good idea.
No, we can no longer involve ourselves in extracurricular activities either.
But what about us? We have to do well on these tests. Our futures are on the line here.
Yeah, Mr. Moore. Can't you bend the rules a little bit, Mr. Moore?
Yeah, just a little.
Well, I would like to, believe me, but I got to stand by my union.
Dennis, where's the rest of your lunch? Very funny. This stuff's for home ec class. The teacher won't go to the market because of the work slowdown, so guess who gets picked to go to the food barn? Why do you have to buy the giant sizes of everything?
Because, ounce for ounce, they're cheaper.
Fine. Then you explain to the class what we're doing with a 5-pound tub of chutney.
I had a coupon. And besides, look, it came with a free Flintstone glass. I would be a fool to pass this up.
This is a nightmare.
Oh, come on, Dennis. At least you're getting to meet girls, right?
Oh, yeah, right. When they're not too busy yelling at me for overbeating my egg whites.
That's because you set your mixer on the puree setting.
Shut up. Oh, and on top of everything else, for our homework, we gotta bake something.
Oh, and Dennis, next time, make sure they double bag you.
What is the difference?
That's the difference.
Things get ugly, Miss Mira. Management may have to fill in for the teachers. So you'll be teaching freshman English and metal shop.
Metal shop? You mean with welding and riveting and banging?
Wear the safety goggles, you'll be fine.
Dr. Samuels, why can't the janitor teach metal shop?
No, I've got him down for modern dance.
Why?
Well, that's what he wanted. Please, let's not mess with the janitor's
Dr.
union.
Samuels,
What do you want?
I wanted to give you these.
Huh. Petitions from the faculty, huh? Well, here's what I think of your petitions, Comrade Moore.
Well, actually, those were your surveys and questionnaires.
What? You see what you made me do? I'm supposed to send these through the proper channels.
You just did.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning. Mr. Moore, are you all caught up on your paperwork?
Yes, I am.
Are you sure you don't want our inseams or dental records?
No, thanks. But I would like you to settle down because I need to talk to all of you.
Oh, great. At least we have a couple days to review then.
Yeah, maybe if we really hit the books, we'll be able to catch up.
So what are you going to teach us today, Mr. Moore?
Nothing.
What? Nothing. You said you finished all your paperwork.
Mr. Moore, come on. We have had enough of this strike stuff. We are here to learn.
Normally, I'd be ready to work with you, but the teachers' union took a vote last night, and until the school board is willing to return to the negotiating table, a work stoppage is in effect.
So does that mean you can't teach?
That's precisely what it means, yes.
Mr. Moore, this is unfair. You can't do this.
Yes, it is unfair. And yes, I can do it. So I'd suggest you find something constructive to do during the remainder of the period. Sorry.
poached salmon with dill sauce. And you know what would be good with that? A nice lobster bisque. What do you think?
I think if I hear you say bisque or fondue or finely chopped nut meats one more time, I'm gonna use your tongue as a scouring pad.
You're just upset because you got a D on your gravy.
Hey, lay off my gravy. I told you those weren't lumps.
Oh, give it up, Dennis. There's no such thing as a gravy ball.
Oh, yeah.
Fellas, do you mind exchanging your recipes a little more quietly? Some people are trying to study.
Sorry.
Too bad some people aren't trying to teach.
Mr. Moore, don't you care about us at all?
Yes, I do. But when you believe in a cause, you sometimes have to make sacrifices.
Oh, great, so you're sacrificing us.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if you could see that this strike issue is larger than how it affects you personally.
You're the one who's gonna get more money.
Yeah, well, maybe. Perhaps even a living wage. That's so selfish of us.
Oh, just forget about it, Mr. Moore. I mean, we've got a test to study for. Maybe one of us should do your job.
Welcome to try. Might be interesting.
Okay, I'll teach. Everybody open your book to chapter 7, please. You too. Eric, you want to sit like a human being?
Wait a minute. Who said you could be the teacher?
Yeah, Dennis, who said you could teach?
Why shouldn't I be the teacher?
Well, for one thing, Dennis, it was my idea.
Yeah, but I got a higher grade point average than you do.
Well, now, let's not act like children. Let's decide this intelligently.
Fine.
Who wants Dennis to teach? And who wants me to teach? Well, fine. Does somebody else want to teach?
Matter of fact, Sarah, I am the captain of the
What's going on here? Rabble-rousing again, Mr. Moore? Next, you'll have them singing Woody Guthrie songs.
Dr. Samuels, you have to do something. If we don't get a real teacher in here, we're gonna die on that test.
Yeah.
You've got one. I'm going to teach you. I may even teach a little teaching while I'm at it.
The blackboard is all yours.
Just stand back and eat my chalk dust. All right. What were they studying?
The Crittenden Compromise of 1860.
Okay. Let's talk about Christopher Columbus.
Dr. Samuels, that sounds a little basic. This is going to be an advanced history test.
Don't worry. You know, Mr. Moore isn't the only person who can make history interesting. For instance, how many of you know Christopher Columbus was a bum? Huh? Well, he borrowed money from a woman to build his boats. He didn't know where he was going. When he got there, he didn't know where he was. And when he got home, he lied about where he'd been.
Dorfman!
What do you want?
You want to sign this petition? I don't agree with the negotiating committee. This work stoppage, how can I put it diplomatically, sucks mud.
Well, sure, I'll sign. I couldn't agree with you more. This is great.
Charlie's a good man. It's just, he's never been in the service, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dorfman. If this petition works, we're gonna start a wildcat strike. Total walkout. Picket lines, baseball bats, slash tires, the works. Your name is gonna be on the hit list of every principal in New York City.
That's what I signed?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my God.
Wow, Arvid, where'd you get that cake?
I made it for home ec. I call it Arvid's Chocolate Raspberry Relativity Tort. What do you think?
It's fabulous.
Yeah, that is an incredible likeness of Einstein.
Really? Thanks. It took me all night.
Oh, Dennis, where's your project?
Oh, I've got it. Beef rib tips bourguignon.
Wow. Well, how did you make that?
Oh, it's easy. Remove cover, pull tab.
Dennis, you'd better come up with something else, or Mrs. Rinkoff is going to make you wash dishes again.
She can't make me wash them if she can't find them.
What do you do with them?
on the advanced placement history test.
And it's not our fault. Why should we be the ones who get hurt by this stupid strike?
I'll tell you why. Because their union is so greedy.
Exactly.
Mr. Moore, why don't the teachers just take their paychecks and stop ruining our lives?
Yeah.
You know, it's not as simple as that.
You know, Mr. Moore, nobody forced you to take this job.
That's right. With all the people out of work, you should be happy to even have a job.
Yeah. You know, I'm beginning to think that Alan was right all along about unions.
You mean it?
Yeah.
Would anyone like to hear my opinions on Roe versus Wade?
Okay, you want me to teach? I'll teach.
You're kidding. What will the union say about that?
Under these circumstances, I think it'll be okay. All right, I'd like each of you to remove one shoe.
Okay, Mr. Moore, but if this is for another survey, I can tell you right now, most of us have 2 feet.
I want you to look at the shoe. See if you can tell me how it is responsible for your well-being. Okay, 1794. Federal Society of Cordwainers is founded. Does anybody know what a cordwainer is?
A shoemaker.
Exactly. Now, in those days, at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, entire industries were founded on child labor. Not just making shoes, but in coal mines, in textile mills, garment sweatshops. You could find 6-year-olds working for 10 cents a day. And often, 4-year-olds were used to clean and oil heavy machinery.
Well, how could anyone do that to a 4-year-old?
Yeah.
Simple. It's expedient. Small child fits very nicely into a large machine. But occasionally somebody loses a finger or a hand or even a life. But business is business. Business as usual. Now, in 1799, the cordwainers led the first strike in an attempt to change things. They were America's first labor union. And you know what they were arrested for?
What's that?
Criminal conspiracy to increase wages. Yeah. Well, by the 20th century, things had changed considerably. At that point, management was using the militia or law enforcement to shoot striking workers, including children. So you see, if it weren't for this shoe and a lot of people who made very real sacrifices, most of you would probably be working in a sweatshop somewhere, minus a few fingers. And I hope you all do very well on your tests tomorrow.
What are we supposed to do with our shoes?
Maybe we can fit them in our mouths.
Okay, Mr. Moore. Maybe there were horror stories back then. But what does it have to do with the teacher strike today? I mean, it's not like you're trying to keep kids from being abused.
Oh, right.
Yes, we are, in a way.
What kids?
Well, you and every kid in school. You deserve the best education that money can buy. Now, I know teachers who have been working for 10, 15 years. They're not making as much money as toll collectors in the Holland Tunnel. Now, what kind of people are going to be teaching you if things continue at that rate?
But you're a good teacher.
Thank you. But if I were to take a job in the real world, I could make a real living wage, maybe 2, 3 times what I make now. And I'll tell you, quite frankly, I don't know how much longer I can afford to remain a teacher.
Mr. Moore, was this petition for a wildcat strike your idea? Yes or no?
No.
Don't try to confuse the issue with your union rhetoric. You want to play rough? Fine. Class, welcome Mr. Grodnick. A bright, enthusiastic, hungry young scholar with a PhD in history who has agreed to replace Mr. Moore and help you in your hour of need.
You mean a scab?
It's business as usual, but not in my class.
Don't tell me whose class this is.
I think I can take it from here, Dr. Samuels. Now, class, I understand you were discussing the Crittenden Compromise of 1860.
I don't think this is gonna work.
Yeah, I just don't feel right about it. It's like crossing a mental picket line.
Right.
And I sure don't want to be taught by some guy who'd cross a real one.
Yeah.
I don't either. I only want to be taught by the best.
Could you wait outside for a moment, Mr. Grodnick?
Still gonna get paid, aren't I?
Yeah. What's the matter with you kids? What about the test tomorrow?
Well, I guess we probably won't do as well as we might have.
Yeah. Maybe we'll score on the 94th percentile instead of the 98th. And maybe that'll hurt us a little down the road, but Dr. Samuels, lots of people have had to make sacrifices much, much greater than that.
Yeah. I mean, we may not like it, but it is important. And I'm willing to live with it.
Me too.
Hey, I was only trying to help you. This is your fault, Mr. Moore. Mr. Grodnick, did you ever conduct an orchestra?
Very impressive.
Yeah. I guess by not teaching us anything, you actually taught us something.
That's right. Thanks. I'm glad.
I sure wish we could use it on that darn test tomorrow.
Mr. Moore, I still have one question.
Sure.
Can Dennis put his shoe back on now?
My cake! It's gone! How could a whole cake just disappear?
Not the whole cake, Arvid. Here's Einstein's hair. You see, I hate coconut. However, the rest was delicious.
You ate my project!
You deserved it. The only reason I even signed us up for home ec class was to meet girls, but no, you had to get an A in baking and an A in sautéing, and you had to gloat when you julienned your beets. You deserved some humiliation.
Humiliation? You want me to show you humiliation?
You mean it, Charlie? They went back to the bargaining table?
Yeah, we got them by the throat. Way to go, men.
Yeah, I guess another day or so, and we can go back to being full-time zookeepers.
There.
Fine.
On Saturday, I was thinking maybe we could go to a concert or the ballet.
Yeah, dinner's fine.
Excuse me, what was that?
What was what?
You were looking at Vicky?
I wasn't looking at her. I was just saying hello.
Don't you think it's a little rude to be talking to someone when you're thinking about someone else, Alex? Eric?
Excuse me? What was that?
What was what?
You just called me Alex.
Oh, and I suppose you're gonna read something into that.
Dennis, I have got the greatest idea for my biology project. I proved scientifically which came first, the chicken or the egg.
Obviously, it was the chicken.
No, it was the egg.
It was the chicken.
It was the egg.
Chicken.
Egg! Chicken! Will you listen to yourself? This is my science project, and you still have to one-up me. You're always trying to get in the last word.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Excuse me. It seems each of you thinks the other always has the last word.
That's right.
Well, there you go. Now, each of you has had the last word simultaneously. So the next one who speaks to the other loses.
Simone, can I talk to you for a second? Tell me if I'm out of line here, but would you like to go out Friday night?
Oh, Alex, that is so sweet. I'm so flattered.
Was that a yes?
No, Eric and I, well...
Hey, I understand. It's cool.
No! I mean, Eric and I go out, sure, but we're not exactly, you know. You know?
No, I don't know. Which is it?
I don't know.
In fact, by participating in our revolution, the French had virtually wiped out their finances, which became a leading factor in their own revolution. And so, with the help of this nifty little bibliography, I'd like, say, 1,500 words by Monday, comparing the two revolutions. Au revoir, mon ami.
Bye, Mr. Moore. Oh, come here.
Vicky, hi.
Oh, hi, Eric.
You know, I meant to tell you, that was a really brilliant analysis you did of Moby Dick for Mrs. Butler's class. I mean, Ahab symbolizing the intellect of man, challenging the primeval forces of nature, of the spiritual, of God itself.
Thanks. I also liked it because the fish won.
That too.
Mr. Moore, can I talk to you about something of a very personal nature?
Well, sure, Simone. You know, I'm always ready to listen to whatever it is that's bothering you,
Thanks, Mr. Moore.
as long as it has nothing to do with you and Eric. You know, I did vow not to be involved any longer in your relationship.
Yes, I remember.
So what was it you wanted to talk to me about?
Well, see, I have this friend, Kathy, and she's been dating this guy, Heathcliff. Well, there's another guy, Todd, and...
Goodbye, Simone.
Goodbye, Mr. Moore.
See you later.
See ya.
Vicky, you want to go out Friday night?
Sure, Alex, I'd love to.
You're gonna go out with him?
You got a problem with that?
No, but I was thinking about a possible date with you.
What about Simone?
You and Simone, of course.
Double date. That's so sweet. Bye.
That's very sweet. But I think Vicky and I will go out by ourselves Friday. Bye.
Hey, Mr. Moore, can I talk to you for a minute?
Simone, huh?
Yeah.
No.
Hey, Aristotle, can I ask you advice about something?
Me? You want my advice?
Sure, why not? I mean, you're new here. You can be objective, unemotional, unbiased, right?
Yeah, I can do that. Go, man, talk to me. Strip your soul bare, reach into your guts, rip them out, and throw them down in front.
Okay. Well, you know I've been going out with Simone for quite a while now, right?
Oh, I dig it already. A love story.
Yeah, and I like her. I really do. But lately, I don't know, I kind of feel tied down.
Oh, man, some conflict. Oh, good, good. Come on, give me some more. Give me some more.
And then, you know, Vicky came along.
Ah, the other woman. A plot twist.
And I really want to go out with her, you know? But I don't know what to do.
It's like directing a scene, man. You gotta stare right into your belly and say, what is the truth? Because if you don't, truth will hunt you down and stab you like Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Terminator.
What are you talking about?
Go out with Vicky, fool!
That's good advice.
Right after you tell Simone the truth. Gotta be honest with her, right?
Right, yeah. Thanks.
Hi, Simone.
Hi, Alex. Alex, when you asked me out yesterday, were you serious?
Yeah.
Do you still want to?
What about you and Eric?
Oh, don't worry about Eric.
Hey, I just stopped worrying.
Great. If you like art, I'll show you my favorite place in the whole city.
That sounds like fun to me.
Okay, see you Friday night.
Friday night? I really want to go out with you, Simone, but,
It's me, isn't it? Oh, I'm so pushy and overbearing. I hate myself.
No, you're great, Simone. Look, we're on for Friday night, definitely. All right? Vicky, listen, about our date Friday night. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it. See, my mother's sick. She's got the flu. I probably should stay home with her.
Of course, I understand. I have some herbs that might help. I could come over and make her a poultice.
That's very sweet, but no, really, you don't have to.
Then I'll chant for her.
Great. Thanks. I know that'll help.
Hi, Eric.
Hey, Vicky, hi.
Listen, I have some bad news.
What's the matter?
Alex can't go out with me.
Aw, shucks.
Yeah. His mom is sick. But I was wondering, would it be okay if I still tagged along with you and Simone on Friday night?
Well, sure, it'd be great for you to come along with us. Except, I don't think Simone can make it. But if you'd like to go out with me Friday night.
Simone won't mind?
Mind? Huh, Simone doesn't have a jealous bone in her whole body. But if it makes you feel uncomfortable, then we just won't mention it to her. Now, do you like art?
Sure.
Then I'm gonna take you to one of my most favorite places in this whole city.
I can't believe it. You have a date with Alex tonight. And it's okay with Eric?
Oh, well, I'm so excited I can hardly wait.
Till history class, huh? Yeah, I love it too. Well, better get going.
I can't, you have my books.
Told you to, I don't want to talk about this.
There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Great.
Never better.
Okay, let's do it. One last time. I hope. So, there's obviously been some tension between you two lately, is that correct?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Good. What have you been fighting about? Deep down, you both really want to be together, right? Good. That's all you need to know. So, Eric, you have any plans for tonight?
No.
Just asking. Simone, how about you? Good. I've got it. Why don't you two go out together tonight and have a nice time, okay? Everybody happy? Good. Bye.
Boy, I would really love to go out with you tonight, Simone, but my mother's sick.
That's wonderful. That you want to be with her. I hope she's okay.
Oh, yeah, nothing serious. But I'll call you.
No. I mean, I'm not going to be home. I was supposed to babysit for my nephew.
Your nephew? You don't have any brothers or sisters?
I met my neighbor's nephew. I just think of him as mine.
Oh, well, that's nice. Well, see ya.
See ya.
Sit down, boys, sit down. It's come to my attention that you two boys are not speaking. Now, I want you to tell me why. Who wants to go first? Arvid? Dennis? Mr. Moore? Funny. Very funny. Well, I'll tell you, I'm just going to sit here and not say a word until somebody tells me what's going on.
Dr. Samuels, Nurse Sweeney's here for your shots. Is everything all right in here? Could you come back, Nurse Sweeney? I think they're praying.
There it is, Alex. This is it. It's my favorite painting.
It's beautiful.
Look at the reds. They're so striking, passionate.
Oh, yeah.
And the grace of the lines. He must have been totally consumed by the vision.
I know the feeling.
Come on. I want to show you the Jackson Pollock. It's in this room.
I think it's one of my most favorite paintings. Here it is. What do you think?
It's interesting. I don't usually care much for abstraction, but I like his color sense. It's really powerful, you know? Almost angry. I bet he ate a lot of meat.
You have a very interesting perspective on things. I like that.
And I like the way you listen to me. Like you take me seriously.
I do take you seriously. I mean, I've known a lot of girls, but you're nothing at all like...
Simone?
What?
Simone, look! Wait, where are you going?
Simone! Eric! What are you doing here?
What do you mean?
I thought you were babysitting.
I am. I brought my nephew, who's really my neighbor's nephew, to the museum for some culture. Right now, he's crawling around the Italian Renaissance room.
Oh, yeah, right. You expect me to believe that? Italian Renaissance?
Oceanic art? Well, what are you doing here? You said your mother was sick.
She is, and I'm very depressed about it. That's why I came here, to look at our painting.
Oh, Eric. I'm sorry about your mother and about doubting you, and I've done something just terrible. Please forgive me.
There you are. What's going on here?
I can explain.
Eric, what's going on here?
I can explain. See,
Simone, why did you run away? Hey, what's going on here?
Alex, I can explain.
what is going on here?
Eric, I can explain.
Do you know what's going on here?
Yes, you lied to me. You told me your mother was sick.
I can explain, see?
Well, maybe she caught it from Eric's mother.
Oh, I can explain.
Well, you should do some explaining.
I think
What are you doing?
All right, what is going on here?
He can explain.
You better start explaining.
You both better.
Hey.
And interestingly enough, on the very day that the Bastille was stormed, the King of France entered one word in his diary. Rien. Nothing. Why? Fact. He had a bad day hunting.
Give this to Darlene, to give to Aristotle, to give to Eric.
This is the last one, Simone. I'm trying to concentrate.
So am I. Let's have the notes.
Mr. Moore, we really don't want to embarrass our fellow classmates.
Fine, I'll do it. Feels like a paper drive. All right, here. I really care about you, Vicky. Love, Alex. I really, really care about you, Simone. Love, Alex. I chanted for you last night, Alex. Don't be surprised if you get a boil. Vicky. Vicky, believe me, it wasn't my fault. Eric. Simone, believe me, it wasn't my... I think we know where Eric stands on this. Eric, you're a jerk. I hate your jacket. I hope your zippers rust. Simone. Chicken. Egg. Okay, folks, seriously, this is supposed to be a high school honors class and not a second grade class, okay? And Alex and Vicky, I'm really surprised at how quickly you've sunk to the level of Simone and Eric, whom I would like to see, hopefully for the last time in my life, in the hall now. I'd also like to clear up the chicken-egg argument by citing Aristotle, who pointed out that the chicken was an actual chicken, while the egg was a potential chicken. Therefore, since actuality precedes potentiality, it follows that the chicken must have come before the egg.
Aristotle, did you really say that?
You two do have a lot in common with Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI. Because of their dishonesty and their inability to face reality, they failed to notice that the world was crumbling around them. Now, of course, your world is smaller, but it's crumbling. In my classroom.
We're sorry we disrupted class, Mr. Moore. And I think I know what you're going to say. We should try and resolve our differences.
Yeah, I'm willing to give it another try.
Well, I'm not.
What?
Oh, look, Eric, you've been flirting with Vicky since the first day she walked into class. Now, obviously, you're trying to send some kind of signal to Simone, so why don't you just come out and say it?
Well,
Go on.
Simone, I guess the truth is, I want to go out with other girls.
Oh, Eric.
Oh, Simone, come on. I mean, you enjoy Alex flirting with you. You've done everything in response, short of drop your hanky.
Mr. Moore, now really.
Hey, come on. Just be honest.
Well, Eric, you were my first boyfriend. And you're wonderful. But after going out with Alex, I don't know how to say this.
It's okay. I think I understand.
I'm glad that I could bring you two apart.
Are you angry?
No, not at all. I'm just sorry I had to put you through all this.
Don't be. I'm not. Eric, we've had some really great times together. I can't even begin to tell you what you've meant to me. When I first met you, I was just a girl. I've grown so much with you. I guess we both have. Now it's just time to move on.
You know, it's funny, because now that this is all over, I feel like this huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
I know, me too.
And this is nothing at all how I thought this would feel.
I know.
I don't think you do. I feel sad.
I know.
Is it safe to come out?
Oh, yeah, we're fine, everybody. Thanks to Mr. Moore.
You mean you're back together?
No, we broke up. Let me get this straight. Because of Mr. Moore and whatever he said to you, you guys are not gonna go out with each other?
That's right.
Thank you
so much.
Oh, no. I did it for myself as much as for anyone. At least I'm finally out of the relationship repair business.
Well, this proves one thing. Chicken joke comes before the egg joke. Dennis, we have to talk. I mean, this silence is causing a rift in our friendship, and well, our friendship's more important to me than any silly bet, so what do you say?
You're right. You lose.
Previously on Head of the Class.
Oh,
Oh my God.
He's really lifting weights. He's lifting weights.
Aren't you guys jumping the gun here? You're only going to be finalists, and that's if NASA chooses your experiment for the space shuttle contest.
If? This is major. We are studying the effects of exercise to counter the atrophy of long-term weightlessness.
This is it, Arv. The very center of the Space Center. Now.
Wow!
Arvid, look.
What?
Do you know who that is? That's Dr. George Milner. He is one of the top guys at MIT. I bet he's one of the judges. This is great. If he likes my project, I am a shoo-in to get into MIT.
If he likes my project?
There's only room for one experiment on the space shuttle. And that one will be Frog in Space.
I'd like to thank NASA for selecting me and my frog as finalists. Oh, Arvid, come on up here, Art.
Whoa! Oh.
Boys, I'm proud of you. In a few weeks, you will take your science project back to Houston and put it aboard the shuttle. Now, what do you say to that?
I say we're not going back to Houston, and there isn't going to be any experiment.
Okay, I'd like to start the day with a question. You think most of the significant achievements in history were accomplished by individuals or by groups? I go for individuals, and I'll tell you why. For example, in one of the most significant scientific engineering achievements of our century, the eminent English physicist Sir Lowell Manhattan single-handedly split the atom. This became known as the Manhattan Project. Now, another example. George Jean NATO, the American diplomat who, in 1949, created an alliance with America and most of Europe that still bears his name to this day.
Oh, come on. What are you talking about?
Skeptics. Okay, number 3. Dr. Polly Apollo, who, in 1969, single-handedly put a man on the moon.
We know that ain't true.
Okay, I hear a little dissent. Let me hear some facts.
The other day, you said it took 400,000 people to put one man on the moon.
Right. And Mr. Moore, the Manhattan Project involved hundreds of scientists working together.
Thank you. And NATO took the diplomatic efforts of 11 countries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Moore, I get your point. Science isn't about individual credit, it's about science.
So what's your point?
Well, in the interest of science, I shall return to Houston to work on Frog in Space.
All right, Houston, here we come. Put it there, buddy.
I think you should understand there are a few conditions attached to our going back.
What? You want the window seat on the plane? No problem. I'll even let you go to the lavatory anytime you want.
We're going back as a team in name only. We are 2 scientists working on an experiment. We are no longer buddies.
Well, welcome back to Houston. And you 2 boys must have a lucky star. Dr. Milner himself is going to help you prepare your frog for space.
Dr. Milner? Really?
Mm-hmm. You wait right here. I'll tell him you're out here.
Dr. Milner, that's great, huh? Art?
Yeah.
It's you, Arvid.
Here they are.
Dr. Milner! Dennis Blunden?
Remember, thanks for those frozen steaks you sent me.
My pleasure. And you remember Arvid Engen? My pal, partner, and buddy forever?
Hello, Dr. Milner. It's a pleasure to meet you. My colleague and I are honored to work with you. Get it off. For God's sakes, get it off.
Okay. This is the payload bay where cargo such as the space station and the Hubble telescope will be carried into space. We'll do all the prep work on your experiment here, then fly Baba, whatever, to Cape Canaveral for the launch.
Cool, we get to go to Florida?
Sorry, amphibians only. This is it. Not as big as you may have imagined. Normally, this wall is filled from floor to ceiling with lockers. Now, your experiment itself will have to fit within these dimensions.
9.99 by 17.32 by 20.32.
Listen to him. Is this guy a genius or what?
Why don't you boys take a look at the cockpit? I'll be right out.
Hey, great idea, huh?
Well, I would like to see it.
Is this great or what? Hey, come on, Arvid, you gotta love this.
It's very nice.
I can't do it, Captain. You've overloaded the lithium crystals. Spark analysis. Come on, Arvid, play with me.
No thanks, Dennis. I don't do that anymore.
Well, this is mission control. All manned space flights are control here after liftoff. Right now, we're running a sim. That's a simulated flight launch. Like a rehearsal.
This is incredible. We have reached the source, the mothership.
Dr. Milner, Are these the orbital equations for the Hubble telescope?
Exactly. The computers will use them to compute the telescope's orbital path. Well, see you tomorrow in the CSR MIPSR.
I've got the specifications right here for the housing unit.
The floor should be polyvinyl plastic. We know that.
Right. And we'll need those temperature-responsive gaskets to seal the door.
We'll also need to humidify the unit with Ringer solution. Arvid, you're very knowledgeable. You ever consider going to MIT?
Actually, no.
You should. Miller, yes? I see. I'll be right there. Excuse me a moment, boys. Keep at it. I'll be right back.
Okay. We'll need the frog sock to keep him moist and to hold him in place.
Right.
Hey, this is great, huh? The two of us working together like old times.
Well, I hate to admit it, but there are moments like these that I think fondly of friendships from the distant past.
It's not too late. We're still together. We can still be pals, partners, buddies forever. Come on, Arvid, what do you say?
Radius vector.
What?
The radius vector. It's wrong. I noticed it yesterday.
Arv, these are the top scientists in the country. They're not going to miss something like that.
You're right. You're right. It can't be wrong. It must be right. I must be wrong. Except I'm right.
Give me a break.
Dennis, if they launch with these numbers, the orbit will be too low. The Hubble telescope will slip back into the atmosphere and burn up. Sit down at the computer. I'll prove it to you. Go on.
No way. Arvid!
There, you see I was right?
I can't believe this. I am in awe of you.
What do I do now?
Are you kidding? We gotta find Dr. Milner.
Okay, I'll take the high floor. You take the low floor.
Come on!
Gemini capsule. It's amazing.
Mr. Moore! Mr. Moore, I'm really sorry. Excuse me. I need to find Dr. Milner. I think I just saved the Hubble telescope project from total disaster. Come, please help me find him.
Dr. Milner! Excuse me. Dr. Milner!
Excuse me, Brian. Dennis, I'll be right back with you boys.
It's not that. There's something wrong with that equation. The radius vector is wrong. It could throw off the Hubble.
You discovered that mistake?
Yeah. Oh. You know about it? I mean, of course you know about it. I never thought a scientist as brilliant as yourself could miss something like... You know, I tried to tell...
No. It's not an actual mistake. It's a deliberate one. Whenever we run simulated flights, we intentionally program incorrect data to see if our flight controllers catch it.
Yeah. Sorry. This is me leaving. Very embarrassed.
Embarrassed? Do you have any idea what you've done?
Dr. Milner, it wasn't... it was, What difference does it make who did it?
It makes a great deal of difference. Whoever did this is capable of extraordinary work.
Oh, well, I didn't exactly, you know, I had a lot of, thank you. Thank you very much.
MIT, huh? I know your partner's not interested, but if you want it, I'll see that you've got it.
What? Listen, they already know about it. Yeah, it turns out they deliberately run mistakes during simulated flights to, test the controllers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I already embarrassed myself. There's no point in you doing it, too.
Is everything all right?
Yeah. They'd run mistakes intentionally. Well, you were right, Dennis. I mean, imagine me thinking I knew more than Dr. Milner. Well, I almost made a real fool of myself. Hey, thanks a lot, buddy. You really saved me.
Hey, don't mention it.
You know, Dennis, I've been thinking. You think frogs can talk? I mean, to each other.
I don't know. I guess so.
Because just think of what little Babaloo will have to tell his friends when we put him back in the pond. I mean, he's been in space. How many frogs have done that? How many people have done that? And we're a part of it. Hey, we're gonna be in the history books. Do you realize that? Engen and Blunder. We really will be buddies forever.
Right.
Come in.
Hi, guys, it's me.
Hi, Mr. Moore.
I just got off the phone with Dr. Milner, and he wanted you both to know that everything's going great.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Moore.
I'd like you to know that I'm really proud of you both. So get a good night's sleep. We leave early in the morning.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Oh. Mr. Moore, I just wanted to thank you for talking me into coming back to Houston. Working with Dr. Milner has been unbelievable, and I didn't think it was possible, but Dennis and I are really best pals again.
Well, as the Earl of Oxford said, all's well that ends well. Good night.
Hey.
Hey, Dennis. Before we go to sleep, you want to play a little canasta?
Thanks, Arv. I'm really tired. What do you say we just go to sleep?
Okay, Dennis. Whatever you say, buddy.
Arv,
Yeah, Dennis?
Night.
Good night, Dennis. Sleep tight. Don't let the Simex lectularius bite. Sweet dreams.
Oh.
Blunden. Dennis Blunden. Wake up, Blunden.
Arvin! Arvin! Wake up, Arvin!
Hey, Brainiac. Only you can see me.
Babaloo? You're Babaloo.
It ain't Kermit.
What are you doing here?
You lied to Milner.
Okay, look,
Shut up! You stabbed your best friend in the back. The only guy who's ever really liked you. Well, look at poor Arvid, sleeping blissfully in his hairnet. Enjoying the last happy night of his life, poor twerp.
Don't say that. I feel terrible. What do you want me to do?
Tell him the truth.
Tell him the truth?
Tell him now, or I'll be back tomorrow night, and I'll bring friends.
No, don't. I'll tell him. I swear to God, I'll tell him.
Don't forget, London.
Dennis and I are best pals again. As a matter of fact, I want to tell you guys what a prince this man is.
No, Arvid, don't.
No, Dennis, it's okay. I want them to know.
Please.
In my foolishness, I thought I knew more than everyone at NASA. I thought I discovered a mistake in the calculations, but it turns out it was an intentional mistake they ran for the flight controllers. But luckily, Dennis found it and stopped me from making a complete fool of myself. I mean, without this man, I would have looked like a total doofus.
That was great, Daddy.
Class time!
Morning, everybody. Take your seats. Before we get started, Dr. Samuels has something he'd like to read to you.
Class, one of your fellow students distinguished himself, and I thought you should all hear about it. Dear Dr. Samuels, while in Houston, a student of yours discovered an error in one of our equations concerning the Hubble Space Telescope. Although it was a deliberate mistake, the recognition of it was a remarkable accomplishment. I hope you will all encourage this student to come to MIT where he belongs. All of you at Fillmore High School should be very proud of Dennis Blunden. Signed sincerely, Dr. George Milner, Professor of Astrophysics, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I think we should all pat Dennis on the back.
Oh, yeah, with a baseball bat.
Hey, wait, What's going on here?
I think I have a fairly good idea, Dr. Samuels. If you could excuse us for a few minutes.
Envy's an ugly thing.
Dennis, you're mind-boggling. There's no mathematical formula for how low you can go.
Arvid, I can explain.
Why don't you do that, Dennis? I enjoy science fiction.
Yeah. Dr. Milner was all over you about going to MIT, and that really hurt. And I happened to find Dr. Milner first, and I tried to tell him the truth, but he just assumed that all I could think about was MIT, and I went for it. I'm sorry, Arv. Do you understand?
No.
Okay. You're angry. Go ahead. Cuss me out. Let me have it. I deserve it.
I'm not angry.
Arvid, come on. You gotta be angry. Hit me, kick me, spit on me, throw dirt in my face, anything.
No, thank you. However, I appreciate the offer.
Come on, Arvid. You gotta let this out. Let me have it. Give me your best shot.
Let's just change the subject.
Arvid, you do have to let Dr. Milner know that this was your work.
Yeah, I would do that.
No. If destroying the last shreds of our friendship just to get into MIT means that much to Dennis, I'm not going to stand in his way.
Don't say last shreds.
Okay. Well, I think Arvid's made his decision, so why don't we start class? Dennis, you want to take your seat, please?
I just got off the phone with the cape. Babalu's fine. He's moist and he's regular.
Join us, Dennis.
We have main engine start.
We have history of the making here.
T minus 5.
4, 3, 2, 1.
We have liftoff of the space shuttle, and it has cleared the tower. This shuttle carries a crew of 5, and it also carries an extra payload, a weightlifting frog named Babalu Ferrigno. He's part of an experiment designed by 2 New York high school students, Arvid Engen and his partner, Danny Bundle.
Okay, well, Arvid, Danny, seems appropriate if you want to say something.
I just want to thank you all for your support and cooperation. Especially my colleague, Dennis Blunden. His work on the project was invaluable. And without his presentation at the SSIP competition, we never would have won. Thank you, Dennis, and congratulations. This is the proudest day of my life.
Dennis?
Well, this is the lousiest day of my life. I got a project on the space shuttle. I'm a shoo-in to get into MIT. And none of it means anything because it cost me my best friend. Arv, I know you'll probably never trust me again, and I don't blame you. But I want you to have this.
What's this?
It's a letter from me to Dr. Milner explaining that you were the one who discovered the radius vector error and that I lied.
I don't believe this. No. That's what it says. What do you want me to do with this?
I want you to mail it. I want you to publish it in the Times. I want you to do whatever you want to with it.
That could lessen your chances with MIT.
I know.
My friendship means more to you than going to MIT?
MIT means everything to me. Look, I sold you out just to get in. But
I'd give it up in a second if it'll prove to you that I want to be your friend again.
Dennis, this is very big of you. I'll mail this right after class.
Good. Good.
Nah.
It's a smooth move, Arvid.
Pals, partners, and buddies forever?
Not so fast. You're on probation. Bundle.
I'll take it.